style is postmodern, the stuff that came after modernism, and contemporary, the fifth style of architecture we'll see along the way. This is the kind of architecture that gives us a glimpse into the next evolution of architecture. Off to the left, we have the next evolution under construction today with these two cranes with some banners on the outside that say Vista. They are building a new super tall skyscraper there called Vista Tower 9. Today that's the tallest building in North America by a woman-led. Look off to the right, to the north, you'll notice a building in the distance with a gold dome and a smokestack right next to it. That's the Intercontinental Hotel today on Michigan Avenue. Completed all. And after the Great Fire in 1871, terracotta became a key building material to the outside of our building. There are 250,000 distinct terracotta tiles all on the outside, and 6 different shades of terracotta. The building gets lighter as the sun passes over it during the day, and that terracotta gets lighter too. The second tallest building in our skyline is coming up off World's Fair, and that World's Fair was held in Hyde Park. That World's Fair proved we were the second city we claimed ourselves to be following that fire. And there were people who didn't want us to host the World's Fair. We definitely warehouse for produce. Today it's an office building, and Nimitz was a student of the Prairie School of Architecture. The construction you're seeing off to the right is pretty special. This is going to be a new... So you get property rights, and that's fine, but you don't get rights to your view. The view might go away in a year or two. Again, we are a city on the make, so we are building a lot. You'll notice that on the South Brand, too. We're building a lot there, too. On the right, you notice in the guardrail, that little letter Y inside the house was built in 1898 by the architect Frank Abbott. Well, 10 years later, this was turned into cold storage and converted into one big refrigerator for the meatpacking industry. Carl Sandburg called us the hog butcher for the world. We definitely were the hog butcher for the world, certainly in the United States. It operated as one big refrigerator until 1979. Then for 3 years, an architect named Harry Weiss turned it into a condo building. It took 4 months to thaw the building out and defrost it for workers to actually go inside. It had to be thawed out. When they did go inside, they then had to remove thousands of feet of matted horsehair from the walls, a form of early 20th century insulation. All through the walls here, horsehair and cork were inside the walls. It began to decay to that horsehair by the late 70s. Harry Weiss, that same architect, also built these 4 river cottages you're seeing off. Distinctive office building with that V shape at the bottom. This is 150 North Riverside Plaza, designed by James Getch of Getch Partners. The building here was built in a very narrow lot around train lines that pass right behind it at ground level. So the construction of this building had to be done from a barge on the Chicago River for the last 2 years. Notice the building's base. That base is only 30 feet. The barn on fire at the Great Chicago Fire. Except the story I just told you is not true. What I told you is myth, folktale, lies. It's one big conspiracy. A local newspaper reporter named Michael Ahern wrote her oath later on and said she had been asleep the entire time the fire started. They're all over the world, they know it's Willis, they have guidebooks that say Willis. So call it a concrete ribbon surrounding the building that frames the image of those balconies, that expresses the individuality of the balconies. Some people don't love this building. A couple years back, someone said it looks like Morse code with dots and dashes. AEE over and over again. So that's the Morse code building. Ahead of that, notice the pink granite building there with the crown structure at the top. Circular structure, that is 311 South Wacker Drive, completed in 1990 by KPF. The building was built in the shadow of the Sears Tower, so KPF had to make themselves seen. So that crown is a lantern in the evening. More than 1,800 Chicago. And they figured that out in the wrong way in 1990. It's too bright, and birds like the building a little too much. As you can imagine, they took out a couple birds. Ahead of us here is Congress Parkway, a major expressway. Notice what this expressway does. It passes right through the heart of the old Maine Post Office. That's the reason this post office could not be demolished when abandoned in 1990. That's called bundle tube technology. If you took 9 twigs and you wrapped a rubber band around them, you couldn't topple it over as easily with wind forces coming out. And that is the idea. Bundle tubes keeps the building stable against our windy city. Dr. Fazler Khan came up with that idea. He's the innovator behind. I remember talking with a guy about a week and a half ago on one of these tours. He said, I used to work at the top of the building. When it would get windy out in the middle of winter, the doorway in his office would swing back and forth. When the wind hit the building would sway a little bit. If you're wondering where you are on the Chicago River, that red dot is that you are here. This is a mural, a map of the Chicago River going all the way up. You can see how the sky ledges at the sky deck. They are clear glass balconies you can walk out to, look straight down 103 floors, and question your mortality. which gives them the proud patriotic height of 1776, the year of independence. And so that's what they were going for there. That's fine. We're the tallest building in the world for 24 years. New York has so little, we have so much. They can have it. And you have their pizza? Sorry. So you need deep dish to really get through the columns between them, so the entire south section of the Boeing building had to be suspended over the ground from the top. If you look up, that is cantilever steel trusswork. That trusswork acts like a hand. What it's doing, it's holding up the south section of the ground. Ultimately, the aesthetic element to that contemporary design. Chicago was built on silk. Jammed in here by the London House and the Wyndham. Madras Tower was completed in 1928 by the architect Herbie Riddle. This was the tallest building in Chicago for a very brief period when completed. The Tribune Tower was completed in 1925 by architects Howells and Hood. And they won an international design competition in 1922 for the design of the building, winning $50,000 from the Tribune. River cottages you saw earlier. The heads
Mama, really, really doll hai mala.